Hello and welcome to Dead Gamer TV. My name's Ian, and today I thought I'd do a little something different. A lot of people are interested in speedrunning, and there are a lot of videos out there which show the very best times in the world. But I haven't found any videos that do a sort of introduction to speedrunning. Things that people it's good to know when you're starting off, and so that's what I want to do today. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to jump right in. This video is going to be a bit of live action talking, and then some edited stuff together to sort of show you some of the issues. If there are guides like this out there, and obviously if people have done this before, please don't let me know, because I don't care. I don't give a fuck. Doing it anyway. Any dads who want to do speedrunning, let me know your times in the comments. One of the first tips I would say is, if you are going to play and skip cutscenes, which you will inevitably do, because when you're trying again and again and again, especially if you want to get competitive, especially if you want to get to the leaderboards, is to know what way you're facing when the cutscene ends, because you can lose seconds discombobulated to where you think you are facing. So if I skip these next two cutscenes, I know that I need to run straight forward with Claire. So that's what I'm going to do. And then something else to note when speedrunning in Resident Evil 2, the remake, is that it is in-game time. It is not real time, which is different to, say, Resident Evil Remaster, which is real time. Doesn't matter if you pause it, doesn't matter if you watch cutscenes, it will count. Whereas if you pause it or if you watch the cutscenes, that time doesn't get added on to your final time.
Don't come any closer.
And I can chat away here, but I'm not actually going to say anything of any notes. I'm just going to talk because I like the sound of my own voice. So the first proper tip when speedrunning is that Claire is faster in caution than she is not in caution.
So here I just wanted to run a bit side by side so that you can see. Now you will notice that without stair skating it is slower for Claire going on the stairs. She's got behind. The Claire in the top right hand corner is ahead at this point, but over this short dash between here and the gate, the Claire on the main screen catches her up and gets to the RPD first.
Okay, so the next thing is to learn about your environment and your game and things that all the speedrunners do, especially if they're things that are easy to accomplish. So for example, in this game we can skip this whole door segment. If we wait here until this guy bursts through, it takes a little while. However, if we do a little section where we pause it, as soon as we unpause, he bursts through, saving us time, because as already discussed, when you pause the game, it doesn't take up any time. So we'll go to here, same place, pause it. As soon as we unpause, he bursts through. And we can go. Small things like that will help you. And also the routes that you take in between things, zombies. Now the next tip or thing we're going to say is stair skating. Stair skating is something that is quite prevalent in Resident Evils, lots of them, different ways of doing it. Sometimes it's pressing forward while smashing the run button. Sometimes, as in this one, it's aiming, and it's similar. It's in both the remakes, this and 3. So when you approach the stairs, what I'll do is I'll just see if I can do a side by side again. We'll get on this line here. If I just run normally, it goes into a stair animation whereby she does that as she approaches the stairs. However, if when you approach the stairs you aim intermittently, it cancels that animation and you get up the stairs quite slightly quicker. And it doesn't take off much, but if you think about how many stairs there are in this game, extrapolate it, it's quite a lot of time saved. Same with the caution thing. If you're in caution, it might only be for a little while. It might only be a little increment in each section, but over the course of the entire game, you'll be saving lots of time indeed. Now, I'm playing it on a PS4. So with a controller, you don't want to aim all the way down. You don't want to press the trigger all the way down, because if you do that, you'll go into the full aim and it won't do anything, because you'll go into the full aim animation. All you're trying to do is disrupt this animation by staying with the normal run. So it's just light clicks and up the stairs. That's stair skating. So the next thing is knowing the puzzles. So if you've got an element in a game where you've got puzzles or menus or things to interact with, you need to know the patterns of what you need to achieve. So if I approach this statue, I click on it, I've got the fish, the bow and arrow, and the wheat sheaf. Pisces Sagittarius wheat sheaf. I know that the puzzle for this statue is lion, wheat sheaf, Nazi falcon. So I also know in the real order that the lion is 1 down from the fish. I know that the wheat sheaf is 1 down from the bow and arrow, and I know that the Nazi falcon is 2 down from the wheat sheaf. So I will be going, I press down, up, 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 and then I'm done. Okay, so it's just knowing when you come to any, like this is an easier one. Obviously, it's not always set up like that. It could be on anything, but you will find patterns of how they're set up, and you just need to instantly know what that pattern is and which of your combinations you need to press, and that's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. To get to the puzzles. So familiarising yourself with the puzzles, and making sure you know what combination of things to press, so you can approach something quickly and do what you need to do. I'll show you another example of this. We've got the nasty key from the petrol station still in our possession, and we want to get rid of it. Now, when I always get rid of it after I've cut this tape. I'll cut this tape and then I'll come and stand here while I'm waiting for this to go up, because it is going up and it takes ages. I'll do the getting rid of the key. So to get rid of anything, you have to press triangle to get the menu up, select the item, press X, and then go down to discard, and then click yes. Okay, so the combination of buttons for that is triangle, right, X, down, down, X, down, X. And having that muscle memory of the pattern of things, especially if you're doing it all the time, you'll get used to it. Lots of different things in this game where you have to press things in certain orders. You'll just get used to doing it. Okay? Until it becomes quicker. And you can practice it. You can just stand here doing it over and over again like this. And then, eventually you just get into the knack of doing it. and it's always usually in the positions the similar positions, because if you're doing the same thing over and over again, you learn which slots things are going in. So at the moment I've got the gun in the first slot, I've got the ammo in the second slot, and I've got the knife in the fourth slot, and the key was in the third slot obviously, so I know where everything was when I go to do it. In the petrol station you can always pick up the key and put it straight in first position, so that when you come to discard it, it's in first position ready. But if you're going to do that once, you need to do it all the time, because repetitiveness is key to speedrunning. It's knowing exactly what you've picked up, what you're going to pick up, what you're going to use when, and how much of it you're going to use. The very best speedrunners will know exactly how much ammo they've got, when it runs out, so that they can then free up the space to pick something else up. And they will use that ammo, whether or not they're running around or whether or not they're waiting for something to happen and they fire their gun off. Like, some people will be waiting for the shutter to go off and they'll fire off the bullets to get rid of the ammo that's in their possession, rather than go through the menu to discard it, because going into the menu, while you can pause it and stop your counter completely, if you go into the menu, your counter carries on going. So all the time you're faffing about in the menu, your timer is going. So those are the things. That's another example of understanding your inventory, and also understanding the button combinations that you need to do to progress through certain areas. So another thing, obviously one of the most important things, is knowing your exact route. So I know that when we come into the RPD, we're going to come in through the RPD, we're going to go through that shutter, we're going to go and get to Elliot, he's going to get pulled in half, then we're going to come back to this point where we get the knife, and then we're off through the main part of the RPD. I know what I need to pick up on the way, and I know the route I need to take. And the whole point of speedrunning is getting to a point where you don't backtrack through areas. If you want to go past this door, you can hug this wall and that'll get you past that hanging guy. It's all about knowing the route that you're going to take and not duplicating things for yourself. Now there's ammo over there, but going and picking it up is 5 seconds. You turn left, pick it up in the menus, coming out of the menus and coming back to where you're going, that's 5 seconds of your time. So every decision you make is either, you know, a benefit to you later in the game, or a hindrance to you now in the time you're taking. All of this area getting cleared out, there's no need to clear any of it out, because you're only coming back through that section twice more. And one time they won't be in your way at all. It's knowing where people are as well, because when you do the game over and over, you will get familiar to where people are. So that guy will always be at the top of the stairs when I get to him, every single time, unless I do something different. And then if I do something different, he's going to be in a different spot, because he's going to have moved more or less based on where we are. So making sure you have a pattern that is consistent is important, because you're going to need to know where things are. Having a key in first position, again, is always important, because when you're running towards a door and you want to unlock it, you want to be banging the X button. You don't want to be going into the menu and looking along and finding where. Have the things that you're going to need all the time, like this, like the solution you dispense, like the radio frequency jammer, anything that's a key item that you're going to be using, the bolt cutters, the bomb, put it in first position.
What was that?
I'll show you another thing, that's another little tip specifically to this game. Claire moves faster, turning a corner. This, going like this, is slower than doing this. That little sidestep shuffle she does is important. It makes it, again, shaves off time. Now RNG, Eleanor, right by the door. RNG is random number generation, which is computer talk for the randomness of games, where things that are possibly random, where they will appear, what will happen, etc. Unlike that zombie at the top of the stairs, that zombie is always at the top of the stairs to block your route. It's part of the development of the game and the story. Eleanor, and she's called Eleanor because, like in Gone in 60 Seconds, I've explained this before. She ends runs. She's a pain in the bollocks. She will be different a lot of the time. I am going to find a way. I don't know how far this will take me, but I'll skip this section probably and show you coming through that door again, and Eleanor will be in a completely different place. And here we are again, and we're going to go through the door, and Eleanor's there. Random number generation. And that is the killer. In speedrunning, RNG is what will get you all the time. It's what you'll hear the speedrunners moaning about. It is the one thing that will destroy all of your chances. Knowing the behaviours is also important, because obviously I know that Fatty there won't get up if I don't go too near him, and the guy eating his mate in the other room won't get up if I don't go anywhere near the ladder or disturb him. So it's important to know those things. So that's been a little introductory guide to speedrunning, especially speedrunning in Resident Evil 2. I hope it's been helpful. If you enjoyed the video, or if you like this sort of content and you want more of it, please let me know, as always, and I will do my best to accommodate if I think it's worthwhile. If I don't, I won't, because my time is precious, because Dad. That's why. Dad Gamer TV. For everyone watching, thank you very much, and I will see you next time. Ta-ra.